Oh, I could see
Yeah,
you guys up in
there's
a
Jenna. Look at Jenna. Oh, poor Jenna.
So
She's
I've muted it by the way, so as we can hear you talking. But I think everyone knows the scene.
her eyes in this are just brilliant when you're just both staring. Her
okay.
acting is.
Go ahead and pause already.
Okay.
So, just so you know, we filmed this in two or three different locations over months. Like the first stuff we filmed was all of Jenna Cannell's reaction that played Tara, because she had to leave us to go directly to set for the Bye Bye Man. Like 2 days later,
yes,
she was on
yeah.
set with Bye Bye Man. So we had to film her stuff first. So we filmed all that in Trent, New Jersey, in this crappy warehouse that I think was being used as a chop shop. I don't know that place, but none of that, like that bathroom you see, that was all there. Everything was, none of that was set dressing. That is all those tires and stuff
All
like
those
that was all
toilets and all
there.
that. Yeah.
Oh my god, that place is crazy. I think if I'm immune to COVID, it's probably because of that building. It's because I don't know what we're breathing into that place. But the other place, where you see right now, this was shot in Staten Island at Seaview Mental Hospital. It's this part of the building is like abandoned building that got badly damaged by the hurricane that came in 2012. But this the tunnels that you see with the baby doll and stuff like that, and this room in here were that's where they burned the TB patients, I believe, after they died, and so they had all these tunnels and they would cart the bodies so they didn't have to take them out there amongst all the people. So yeah, this same room that I also strangle with the saran wrap type stuff.
Yeah.
So it's shot in the same exact room, but it was like, this is where I was like, who am I breathing in this room? Because I think we found a bone one day, and they were like, oh, this is crazy.
Oh, brilliant.
Oh, should I play them?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Is it weird watching yourself?
Oh yeah.
Her eyes there, her acting's fantastic.
Oh, she's wonderful. Oh, what you see right here?
It's not
The
censored.
ceiling tile, that was actually a real ceiling tile that fell down. We're like, oh my god, that's
say that. It didn't look. Look at your phone.
Oh my god. Okay, go ahead and pause
That's
again.
so uncomfortable.
Yeah, it was good. You didn't pause just with her boobs hanging out, but
Well, I'll censor it. Don't worry. I can't
oh
put it
my
on
god,
YouTube.
yeah.
In our reaction video, I had to cut
Oh, that
out
would
most
be
of this
awkward. I'm
scene.
like, oh, I'm not trying to pause it because of that, folks. But no, it's like, but that's what I want to talk about. It's like Catherine, who played Dawn. It's like, I think she's the MVP of the film.
Yeah.
Because this night we filmed this in January.
Oh,
And
cold.
it was that room had no heat in it, and it was like 20 degrees that night in that room. And so it was freezing cold, and she had to hang upside down like that for like 4 or 5 hours, and it was just miserable because she's cold and she's got all that blood going up down her, and it's like it got in her eyes and nose at one point, and it was just rough for her, and we could only film 30 seconds at a time. Because it's so dangerous to
hanging upside
down like that. I'm like, so we had like 30 seconds to film, and then we have to swing her back up and let her rest, and we have to reset the shot and stuff like that, and we'd swing her down real quick and like, and go. Oh god, it was a very stressful night because it's dangerous. It was very dangerous.
Yeah.
We were trying to keep her as comfortable as possible, because it's like she's having to be in such a vulnerable state like that, in a room full of guys in sub-zero, and not sub-zero, but freezing cold temperatures. I'm like, this is horrible. But she was such a trooper. She didn't complain. She was totally gung-ho to do it because she knew what that scene was going to be in the film too. She's like, this is going to be the scene everybody talks about. It's like, I want to be part of cinematic horror history in a way. So yeah, let's do this. So kudos to Catherine for this. I mean, she's amazing. It's just like, tip of the tiny hat to her.
Definitely.
Mwah.
Yeah, the tiny hat.
You can unpause, I guess, now. Like, oh.
That was just, I can't believe she even like.
The boop of the nose I love, because that was something we added, because she booped my nose in the pizza parlor thing.
Yeah.
I deliberately want to do that with the boop of the nose. Yeah. It's like, yeah. People are like, why did you do this? It was like, well, there was already, a a place to start cutting.
And there was a piece of clothing in the way as well, wasn't it? She had to get it off.
Ripped it away, but she actually had another pair on underneath.
Yeah.
We're like, we're not gonna totally let her be like that. That'd be horrible.
Oh god.
It's like all that. It's like, oh, that's of course the prosthetic we made for it.
That blood could have got up in her eyes and nose, wouldn't it?
Oh, it's horrible.
It's just that look you give back.
Oh, pause. So I got to talk about these intestines. Oh, that's a great.
Let me go back to the intestines.
Awesome
I'll go back to the intestines. Oh, but wait.
Yeah.
Where are the intestines?
So yeah, we were actually supposed to shoot this 2 weeks before, but they had a horrible storm the night before, and the room flooded. So we didn't want to risk electrocution. We tried, but we're like, no, it's too risky. So our DP took the intestines home with him, but he didn't put them in the refrigerator.
Oh, no.
Oh.
He left them out in his garage, thinking it would be cold enough in his garage during the winter to do that. So we open it up, and we're like, oh my god, because these were made out of, it was just pig intestines casings with fat shoved in them.
That's going back to like old school
rancid.
Tom Savini, isn't it? Like Day of the Dead days, isn't it? Like,
yeah. And I am accidentally, because I'm actually really cutting through this prosthetic that they built, which was a lot of fun to do. But I got down to it, and I accidentally cut into one of the intestines, so all the stuff started oozing out. And it was like, oh, that's when I really smelled it because of the makeup I had on. And it's a good thing we weren't filming with sound, because you have heard the whole entire crew just retching. They were all just like, the smell. Oh, the smell in that room was bad. You can unpause.
That adds an extra dimension to it, because now we know it smelt horrible as well.
Oh yeah, that's horrible. More of a fan, and that's how much Art's loving it and looking back like at his work and like.
Especially when it's hit the ground like that, we're just like, oh god, that smells horrible.
So when you read the script and it said Art cut someone in half, what was your first reaction?
Oh, I thought it was just going to be like you see in most films, where you see the before and after. You don't see the whole thing actually happen. You would just see her reacting to it the whole entire time. And Damien's like, oh no, we're actually going to show you cutting through this and the intestines and everything. Oh yeah.
So I said to Jack, have you ever seen Bone Tomahawk? There's a scene similar to this, and I was like, oh, is it like Bone Tomahawk? And Jack was like, it's 1,000,000 times worse. And I was like, how can it be 1,000,000 times worse? But it is. Oh,
it was fun. It was just like when it was, because we did the prosthetic on a different day, so I was actually, it was a lot less tense on set that day, because I was like, okay, now I can have fun and just cut through this thing like crazy and not have to worry about anybody getting hurt or anything like that. So, that was funny too. I think that the night that she had to stab me in the back like that, I think we were very delirious that night, and so there's some outtake somewhere with me at the horn, and every time she would like stab me or something like that, I would honk the horn.
Oh, that's brilliant.
It was just like we were just so crazy. We were out of it. We were so tired, because I think that was the day where we had shot like 4 or 5 days back to back, and so we were going off of maybe 3 or 4 hours of sleep every single night. So we're just.
That is brilliant.
Oh yeah.
Thank you for doing that, David. I mean,
honestly, I love doing that. I love breaking down those type of scenes, because there's so much that goes into it. And it's like all that was built by Damien too. It's like,
oh no, it's insane.
And going back to Catherine being MVP, when they built that the whole prosthetic for her, they had God, that poor girl. They did a whole body mold of her, so that's actually her body. They molded that off of, and she came out and she had too much releasing agent on, so it makes it easier to get out. So they, if you have too much of it on, you'll see it in the mold, and so you'll just see all these clumps of it on the mold. So Damien's like, oh, you're gonna have to take some of that off. She took too much of it off. Oh. And so when they tried to get her out of the mold, it wasn't coming off, and they just had to take her to the ER.
Oh god, that's
which is a full body mold. It wasn't just it's like she's stuck in that thing. And so it took about an hour, they said, to just slowly pry her out of that thing. So she got a true Brazilian that day, I think. But it's just like, oh my God.
That's what I love about doing these and like having little insights like that. Like you'd watch the film like that, and like, but you'd never know that. Hello.
Yeah. Oh, Damien was probably. Oh, hey. Damien was probably like, yeah, she's probably gonna quit now, but she didn't. She's like, nope, let's do it. Let's do this. So it's just that's like I said, she's the MVP of the film because it's like, yeah, like that's the scene everybody talks about.
Yeah.
And Damien's just amazing with his prosthetic work. I think he's up the ante in part 2. Like some of the prosthetics he's used for like the first scene in the film is like he put a mechanism in it where it looks like it's breathing. Like you see the throat actually breathing, and it's like it between that and the actor, I couldn't tell the difference. I can't
wait for it. I honestly cannot wait.